What's up, everyone? I am Art.
And I'm Andrew.
And welcome to another edition of Critic vs. Critic, where we flip a coin to see who's the good critic.
Or the bad one.
Alright, now let's get started and watch us fight us out on Movie Melee. So guys, in case you missed last week's episode, Ernie and Jasmine did a video on Wonder Woman, and it was unanimous that Ernie won because there's a lot of Gal Gadot fans out there. I don't blame them. Do you blame them?
Absolutely not.
Alright, so in case also you missed that video, please check out the link in the description below.
And so as far as our segment today we decided to go watch Transformers The Last Night, which is actually pretty good. So we decided to do a coin flip to find out who was going to be the good critic or the bad one.
Heads, you the good one.
Good critic.
You bitch.
I love Transformers.
So now we're going to flip another coin to see who takes the initiative in the first round.
Heads it is. Heads. Ha.
You
I'll
start
be
again,
first.
you bitch.
I know, right? Sorry. Got nothing to say.
For 1,000 years, we've kept it hidden. The secret history of Transformers.
I will be the one to start off by saying some positive views about this movie. So far, the movie that I saw was actually really great. The story-wise in itself was really captivating in that sense where it had a lot of secrets. It tied in with old school style as far as medieval times. And then that's what gave me that whole National Treasure vibe where everything was mixed in, and then you had the talismans, the whole tree family of everybody that was into it since day one. Even the Transformer guy was there, you know, since day one. And I like the fact that in the movie they finally mentioned Unicron. In my story, now the Transformers that I grew up with my entire life, Unicron and Primus was the god, the devil, the ultimate beings that created this story in general. And that was the very ending fight of the entire story. No matter how many cartoons, no matter how many series, seasons, that was the ending part about it. And I finally love it that now they finally mention Unicron himself, the ultimate being. And then that's when they also mentioned another god. And then she was the one that came to Prime himself and goes and actually turned him bad. That was nice. Instead of Megatron being, of course, the ultimate bad guy that will always be there, they turned Prime into the bad guy. That was actually a pretty bomb twist.
So I felt like the movie went way too long. It could have been at least 30 minutes shorter, and there was just so much going on with the plot. There was so many characters that were introduced, and just a lot of things going on. It was really hard to keep up, and I actually found myself kind of disinterested most of the time. But the main thing that pissed me off, I love King Arthur, and to see Michael Bay not only potentially, you know, fuck up Transformers, but he fucks up King Arthur. He makes Merlin look like a drunk man whore, which I'm all for. That's cool. But that doesn't suit Merlin. So the idea that Transformers and King Arthur are intertwined is just two things that don't mesh well together. It's like if you get whiskey and fucking Cactus Cooler, and then you get that. I feel like that's what this movie was thematically in a nutshell. The whole National Treasure thing was kind of interesting, I guess, but I feel like that just made everything a little more convenient to the story. Every like historical figure like was in on the Transformers and part of the secret society to keep them, you know, a secret. And I was just like, that's a little too convenient.
I kind of actually enjoyed that though, because out of all this, of course, the very ultimate secret to be kept has to be of national security and blah blah blah. That was like, okay, cool, you know, like fine, Transformers will be hidden under the radar beyond that point. But
they name drop like almost everyone. I'm surprised they didn't even fucking mention Jesus Christ in there at one point. You know, like, Jesus knew about Transformers.
The Last Supper and everything. Yeah. No, but for me that was cool. The point is that everyone was into it. Everyone was in it, and no one said fucking shit.
So another one of the main issues with this movie is that there was a lot of pointless characters that really didn't need to be there at all, who really didn't add to the story. Primarily the girl who was prominently shown in the trailers to be one of like the main characters to really do some, you know, kid power
and all that. Yep.
Kind of like how the cartoons were based on, you know, it was more kid power kind of stuff. But she did she had a couple of scenes, but didn't do anything at all. She was just kind of there, and she was fucking annoying, and she didn't She didn't do anything to progress the story in any way. She was just there, and it was very misleading from the trailers.
For me, I really enjoyed the fact that Megatron was actually back. Now, Megatron is, of course, the most known person that is going to always be with Prime. If there's no Megatron, there is no Prime. And I love the fact that he actually came back. I know in the last movie he died in some way, but he fucking died. So I like how the fact that he's back. And I also like how his villains was assembled nicely. Starscream was completely gone, but then you have this awesome horned dude that split into five others. He literally looked like a demon from hell, Transformer style. I like the cast on that part. I do admit, although that chick wasn't much significance into the movie, I do like her actual story though. How she was an orphan, how her parents died because during the war between the humans and the Transformers, and then she ended up being best friends with that one Transformer, then he died, and now she's in that rebellious 14-year-old state of wanting, she was meant to be joined into the crew with Mark and everything to become the new team to defend the Earth.
I mean, sure, it's a sad backstory, but ultimately the movie could have did just fine without her. She really didn't need to be there. She was just an extra paycheck for the people to like.
She did bring back the troops though. She at least did something. She brought the troops in.
How the hell did she get in the airplane though when they're about to do the Halo jump? Like she just snuck in there into a military base and like right before they jump off the plane.
Just like Shaggy with
I shouldn't have been there.
Scooby.
It's a bad idea. No, she was terrible. She was terrible. And then Megatron, Megatron's cool, but he was ultimately just a fucking henchman. Pretty much Megatron was just another bitch again.
No, but still, I mean, of course, we already knew that Megatron was following a higher cause to protect his planet, and of course, following her rules, because she is a fucking god. But on top of that, no, just the fact that he was there, he's always there. He will always be there. He will always be the stepping stone to Prime's ultimate goal, to making sure that the planet's safe and everything. No, I'm glad he's there.
But Megatron should care about himself and only do his own agenda and not follow someone else's. It makes him look like a bitch.
Well, that's what makes him a badass. He
Badass
doesn't
bitch.
give a fuck. He'll cause havoc no matter fucking what. He doesn't care. That's his existence.
That's not helping.
To make Prime a fucking living hell. To make sure that he doesn't win a tie will fucking be worth it.
He's following orders. That's what he's doing.
For his race. First off, Anthony Hopkins. That dude did an amazing job. His acting was great. He was funny as shit. He played a lot of good jokes. He flicked off that dude and everything. And also the fact that he was also the one that was going to lead the main team into the mission and everything. He did an amazing job. He did better than anybody. Completely. First off, hands down. Mark did a great job. He kept to his story. Everything was great. I liked how the fact where he couldn't talk back to his daughter, but she knew about that. That was nice. The chick, the actor in her, she actually acted pretty damn good. She really did.
So the sad thing about Anthony Hopkins' performance, that it was the best in there, but he did not give a shit at all. And the fact that he was in Trine and then he was still the best one says a lot about all the other actors acting. Mark Wahlberg was just being his usual Bostonian self. I was waiting for him to talk, be talking to Ted. The girl was terrible. The kids in the very beginning of the movie, y'all want to see a dead robot? That was terrible.
That was bad.
So much wrong. So much wrong. So, about the franchise in general, I feel like it should have ended at least 2 movies ago. It just kind of kept as a trilogy, but they're still going to keep going on. So, hopefully, the next movie will actually be the last movie, because I'm kind of sick of these movies. They keep encouraging Michael Bay to keep making these terrible things. I mean, like, just stick to other things. Don't make this. Just make porn. I'm okay with that. Porn explosions.
How dare you? First off, no, I'm actually glad. I'm perfectly fine with that. Every movie showed every specific moment of key points back from the comics. Part 1, of course, the first one. Part 2, that's when they explained Sentinel Prime, which is a really huge part. He was one of the other Primes that no one even really knew or cared about. That dude was fucking awesome. The third one was finally Revenge of the Fallen, when they finally killed all of the elders, and then that's when the god himself, that's what led to basically 5. Part 4 was basically which one? Part 4 was Age of Extinction, where they finally embrace about the fact on how the Transformers were even here before the dinosaurs. That was also a key point into filling everything in. Finally, this one was actually really fucking interesting. It was fucking awesome, just to the point where they finally mentioned the god and everything, and also the fact they finally mentioned Unicron. That means that they're approaching their final end. All of these videos have actually been really good, and they have been entertaining. They have been great. And now at this point, now they're leading to the last one, which hopefully I know they're going to make a 6th one. Of course, if you guys seen the ending scene, that she's still alive and Unicron is still awoken, and he's going to be awake, and he's going to be awoken, and he's going to raise havoc, and there's going to be a 6th one where there's going to be like this huge planetary war. And I can't wait for it. I will buy tickets for that shit.
They should just end it with the last one, hopefully, because it's obviously going to make another one, but it should really end there before it keeps going and going. Don't let it drag on to the point where, you know, we're just really dumbed down by it, like the fucking Resident Evil movies. Those went on for far too long. You know how many too long? Like 6 movies too long. We should have stopped at the first one. So please, end it. Stop at Michael Bay. Michael Boom Boom Bay.
Don't stop. Don't stop. You're almost done.
Don't
Just
feed.
this last one.
Don't encourage him.
It's going to be known for years and decades. All 6 of these movies.
The ratings are
great.
getting worse and worse and worse, and that should tell you the quality of these movies that you walk into.
But true fans don't give a shit about the ratings, right? That's right, because we know what's a good movie. I know what's a good movie.
It's a movie first before an adaptation.
All right, well, those were all of our main points on the Transformers The Last Night. Go ahead and see who was the better critic, either me, the good one, or this guy, the bad one. Make sure you go ahead and leave your vote on the comments down below.
And don't forget to stay tuned for our next video, which will be Despicable Me 3. And then we'll also announce the winner of this video in that video. So please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Movie Melee. I am Art from said channel and Box TV.
And I am Andrew from Box TV.
And we'll see you next time, motherfuckers.
Cool. You shut your filthy mouth. Not you. You're cute.